Good to see you all.
Good to see
Hi.
you. Chelsea, I love that background. I have that.
Hi, everyone.
Cute.
Oh, yeah. Cool.
So for anyone who's new to this RLC or the first L&L that maybe you've done with us, can you just raise your hand? We are really a group of friends that comes together, and it's a deep sharing. Hi, Lorette. Nice to see you.
If you are new, move your mouse to the bottom of your screen and you will see something called participants, and you can open that, and you can open your chat window, and also under reactions, that's where you'll see the hand raising feature. So take a look at that. And while you're gathering yourselves together, make sure you have something that you can take notes on, whether it's a paper and pencil or whether it's your tablet. Make sure that you have something where you can take notes today, okay? Because we're going to be doing an exercise.
Yeah, I wondered, is it I guess in a way it's an exercise.
Kind of, it's an exploration, but you do want to be able to write down. So Cecilia, so the hand raising is like a reaction? You mean like this?
It could be, but there's an emoji down there.
Oh, okay.
Under reactions, there's emojis, and one of them is a hand raising feature.
I liked mine. Okay.
And Cease, for our new friends that are joining us for the first time this week, I'd love you to introduce yourself. So everybody knows who you are. Cecilia.
Hi, I am Cecilia Sands, and I am in love with Reconnective Healing. Been there since 2005, and I just cannot stop talking about it or being involved with it in every day of my life. So this is where I am, and this is why I'm here.
And wait, and let me insert something that probably none of you, even regulars, have heard me say before. Cecilia started with us part-time at 2005, and I said to the person running the office, I said, I'd like her to be full-time, and he said, she only wants to do part-time. And I said, change that. and apparently we did. So thank you, Cecilia, for agreeing to be full-time with us.
Actually, Cecilia is intricately woven into the development of the content, and obviously she has a very close personal touch with each of you. And often whether you're involved in other things that we are offering, she is a tremendous touchstone, always paying attention to info and we are tremendously grateful for her awareness and her knowledge and the love that she is. She is truly a beautiful representation of how energy, light, and information experiences itself in the finite being. And we are, yes, great gratitude to her. Okay, and today it was an interesting topic for Eric and I to kind of unpack here. So I'm gonna let you roll with the title and then we'll guide them through.
Okay, and I just want to say hello to Renee Sugar, who joined us from this morning's IG Live. So nice to see you. Today we're going to talk about losing normal. And you know what just played through my head? Was Losing Normal also a name of a movie? It might have been. I don't remember. It sounds familiar.
Eric likes to watch movies and a lot of TV.
Well, it had nothing to do with coming up with the name Losing Normal. I just suddenly...
Leaving Normal.
Oh, that was Leaving Normal. That's right. Well, we not only left it, we may have lost it. But anyhow, and the concept today is we're not going to do as much talking, explaining, leading. I'm trying to avoid the word teaching, infusing, as we normally do. Instead, we're really going to discuss a little bit of the concept of losing normal. And then you are actually going to uncover your own insights in today's exploration, right?
Yeah. What we want you to kind of just feel into this understanding in whatever way you receive this. Some of our greatest healing comes through the loss of things that we would never have willingly surrendered. Each of us, in a way, has experienced this understanding at some point in what we'll call the path of life, the path of this extraordinary expression of God and love and infinite intelligence. And when we go through what I refer to as, feeling out of control, no longer being in control, the idea that it would bring about some of the most innate, most important healings of this lifetime that we're leading takes a bit of encouragement and forgiveness sometimes, even within the heart. We talked a little bit this morning in Solomon about the mind can know 10,000 things, but the heart knows one reality. And in this way, our identity is constantly in the presence of a roller coaster. And I do want to speak to Renee Sugar, because Renee, yes, brought up something so beautiful about listening. She considers one of her, I would say, most important and most familiar aspects of herself is that she's become adept at listening. And so the unveiling of that which we would never surrender in the body-mind is often the listening of our very being. And it comes in so many forms and in so many ways. So we really wanted to explore that today as a family, as a group of friends. Again, these gatherings are not organized as student teachers. You are not students and we are not teachers. We are a group of friends willingly coming together to know the true nature of our being and consciousness itself. So
part of what we are going to explore today is the concept that I think a lot of us, actually, if we look back, I believe every one of us have experienced that some of our greatest healings come through the loss of something we would never necessarily have willingly surrendered. Each of us have experienced this already, whether it's now, whether it's far earlier in our life. And some of you may be going through this now, but the important thing that I want to touch on is, as we understand this, then does healing through intention necessarily bring about the highest healing? I know there's a lot of focus of intention in healing, but if some of our greatest healings have come about through the loss of things we might never have willingly agreed to, then those things probably are not showing up in our intentions, are they?
yeah, I would love you to just restate that again, because that's a big one.
Some of our greatest healings come through the loss of some things that we would never have willingly surrendered.
Right.
And as I said, we've experienced this, everyone, at some point in our lives, at some point in our lives, and many of us are going through that now. Even some of us in the fear of the anticipation, but if that's the case, and if we really look at it, I think we'll find that, then is healing through intention, a very popular approach by, many people involved in healing today, is healing through intention really designed to bring about the highest healing? Because if we never willingly would have surrendered something and the loss of that became some of our highest healings, then healing through intention would not have included those things that we wouldn't willingly have released.
And I think the word intention, just because we use it in so many different ways, we don't want to unilaterally say intention healing, or I think the area to explore within ourselves is how much attention are we putting on intention? And with everything, there's a bit of balance. And that, how much I love Rupert's spirit. I'm just going to bring one sentiment to you from Rupert. Rupert says, thinking changes the appearance and experience, And we need to be thoughtful enough to not allow experience to eclipse the knowing of our own being. In other words, when you come out of what you are not, everything comes out to say, I am. And there is I find art and poetry to be such a beautiful way to express beingness. We fall into it. But there's a deep centered truth about coming out of what we are not. When we surrender willingly or unwillingly, we are moving through something that is perhaps no longer. And in that is that the presence.
And I was just going to add, and is what we used to call normal really, let's say, fit for our identity today? And would we ever have released all of it willingly?
And in some way, identity in the beautiful and creative role that we play in our lives, again, as the experience of the infinite on behalf of the infinite. We in a way confront at that intersection the depths of love and worth, self-worth. And so many of us early, Harry recorded a beautiful piece around his nephew who's only 4 years old and has had immense circumstances between his parents divorcing and a new parent coming in and going to school for the first time. And Harry referred to the circumstances of his 4-year-old nephew's Jay's life beginning. He was observing a dimming in the beingness of the child that isn't conditioned through intention, doesn't know that language quite yet. And where in this can we observe what each of us moves through in life, the stripping away of what we would call normal? Two parents, and you wake up in the morning and there they are. I mean, I don't know who has had a normal, what we would call typical normal life. TV expressed that back in the 50s. It was a little odd.
And
Leave it to Beaver.
Society enforced it,
Yes.
And you were not rewarded for being who you were if it didn't match the societally imposed norm, of a mother, a father, and what is it, 2.3 kids or whatever that number is.
So this is the beginning of a month. As I mentioned, we're going to be just using the whole month to play in the nature of healing. And
our focus went funny. Let's see what that was all about. Okay, release.
Back.
Must have been my lenses.
And so all these Wednesday gatherings are going to kind of move through a wave of ways to inquire. So let's go on.
We are going to go on. One thing, Jillian, that you said last night that I really liked was, with the anticipation of something being taken away that we never would have given up comes a whole mirage of things. So, as things have been surrendered that we wouldn't have willingly, the illusion, the mirage, shall we say, falls away. And that's really kind of cool. So
pen and paper.
Pen and paper would be a really good thing.
And no, we are all, including Eric and I, we're all moving through this exercise or play today. So let it be very personal for each of you. Cece, make sure you have a pen and paper. You're doing it with us too. Okay, perfect.
Good. Okay. So to explore this, We're going to take you through a series of 5 questions. Some may feel connected to one another, some may not, and we'll explain that. So what I'd like you to do first, we'll just do this one at a time. 1, I'd like you to write down 1 or 2 things that you lost in life at any point in time that you would not have willingly, intentionally let go of. Now, you know, if there's a third one on your head somewhere that's bouncing around, there's not a rule to this. 1 or 2 is an approximation. Okay, so take about 2 minutes right now to really explore and put down a couple of things that you like.
We're just going to restate the question one more time. 1 or 2 things you lost in life that you wouldn't have intentionally let go of.
Take your time where we can see who's still writing, so relax. Okay, here comes the second question. I'd like you to list 1 or 2 things, again, 1 or 2 is an approximate, 1 or 2 things you gained from each of those losses that you just listed. So if you wrote down 4 losses, see if you can write down, 4 to 8 things, just 1 or 2 things for each loss. You only wrote 1 loss, great.
And to qualify the word gained, because we have many people whose native languages are all varied. The idea here is 1 or 2 things that you received.
It does not need to be tangible.
No.
Could be an insight and understanding, just, something that you would not have received had you not gone through that loss. Again, take your time. We can see who's still writing. Be comfortable. Don't feel rushed.
We had some people just join us. If you're new to the room, please bring out a pen and paper or something you can write with, and we'll go over the questions again.
So for those of you who are new, I will repeat the question. First of all, please write down just maybe 1 or 2 things in life that you've lost, you don't have any longer, that you would not intentionally have let go of. Take a minute or two to write that.
We're going to say goodbye to our YouTubers right now who have joined us for just a little piece of the Live and Learn. We always appreciate you peeking in. We'd love you to come join this group of friends. We are exploring and investigating, and thank you for being a part of this with us. See you soon.
So after you've written down those 1 or 2 things that you lost that you wouldn't intentionally have let go of, next to them, I'd like you to list, or anywhere on the page, 1 or 2 things you gained, you acquired in life, in concepts, in awareness or something from each of those losses. Hey there, family. Dr. Eric and Jillian here.
Welcome, everyone.
And we're very excited about Reconnective Life, our first online global community. This is the most exciting way we've been able to get together since I founded the Reconnection. It'll be a place where we can do things together. We'll move into breakout rooms at times when that's appropriate. We'll have energy interactions and meditations and exercises. In other words, expect things you haven't seen before.
You are so charged.
Things
He is so lit about every new way we get to be together every day. Just be together. Let us just speak a little bit about what is going to be the shape of this community.
In this community, we can share and discover more. Here we can talk to each other, we can chat, we can learn from and about one another. Jillian, me, our life leaders, and you will be in daily conversation with you. Weekly, we will have Facebook Lives.
We will be with you every Wednesday. Sometimes it'll be just Eric. On occasion, it might just be me. Sometimes it'll be the 2 of us. It's all about giving you a way to look at the week living in the frequencies.
And in every 4th week, we will include a live Q&A so we can talk about things that have been coming up for us, discuss back and forth, share, grow, expand together.
And the ever-growing library of content that has been created over 20 years that will be on demand for you. It will be on-demand content for you to view, enjoy, share again with your inner circle.
And monthly, we are going to have live Zoom retreats. We're going to bring in some exercises and experiences and things that previously we've reserved for our physical retreats, you know, when we were in the different location resorts and things. And we're modifying them so that we can work with these with you in your home, in your living room, in your den. Put into the chat line, what is facility? We're having these weekly Zoom in-depth Q&As.
Finally, we have a place and space to just define what does that really mean, living in the frequencies.
This is something that is in all of us.
Everyone can do this.
It doesn't matter how many levels you've gone through or how well you know the programs. It's a community that allows us to recognize how interrelated we all are as receivers of energy, light, and information.
See you there.
Reconnective Life, living in the frequencies every day.